Well, hello and welcome to the last of the games in the match against sdrawkcab. The last one I did not play well at all and thus deservedly lose. But yeah, let's see what this one can do for us. It looks pretty awful. Again, there is no real draw. I mean, Apothecary is draw for your potions and coppers, but well, you don't really want to draw those. And oops, cancel. I pressed the wrong button. Still getting used. Oh, undo. Hello. All the wrong buttons. Um, yeah, let's think about this. How do we want to approach it? I think opening Tanuki looks fine, and Tanuki Snake, which probably, yeah, and we could also overpay for Infirmary, but I think Tanuki is the nicer card to have in our deck on the long term. But yeah, thank you to undo this. I think we're just going to go for a very lean deck with Snake Witches to try to curse our opponent with maybe a big infirmary overpay somewhere in between. And then, yeah, see where we go from there. Maybe in hindsight, the infirmary overpay would have been better if we had found two or three estate, well, two estates, sorry, and then gone for the Tanuki a tiny bit later, but we weren't guaranteed to hit five then, and thus, yeah, I don't know. Slightly prefer this. Let's see. And that's not good. Um, I guess we end our actions and try to now overpay two. Trash this, trash an estate. Not too not be too happy about this draw, but it's fine. We'll pick up a Crucible now off of this. And then just hammer in Snake, which just try to curse our opponent a lot. I wonder whether it's worth to go for Apothecary. Um, hmm, and this Apothecary will trigger a shuffle. I think we want this Infirmary that we have. I think we want a Throne Room going with that. Buying as a next card. And yeah, let's hope we don't draw the Snake Witch dead off the top. And we don't, so that's really good. Get to put in a Throne Room and trigger a shuffle. Do we want to trigger a shuffle? I believe we do. We might just turn a copper into Snake Witch, turn and then see what else happens. And yeah, go from here. Do we want to buy a guide to guide away a bad early hand? Or just another Snake Witch? I think guide should be fine. And yeah, guide would have been amazing here. We will get to trash two coppers, I guess, but not great to see the actually no, let's just play the Infirmary by and a Snake Witch. Not great to not have the thingy in hand there. We will probably just double play this Throne Room with the guide and then try to curse the opponent a bit. I mean, there is an Infirmary. Um, and yeah, we also really need to look out that we don't get too low on payload, but Tanuki is there for us in case we want to go for some higher value stuff. We might even just turn a Snake Witch into a a potion and then later on turn that into something like a gold. But yeah, I don't know. Certainly, we don't want to get too far behind on the thinning because otherwise their Snake Witch stuff might be too oppressive. I don't know. Weird one. Conquest also is not looking all too bad, actually. Just some victory points, some fodder for the Tanukis. Ideally, I would love a deck full of throne rooms and Tanukis for payload, and yeah. So on a currently, if I were to hit 6, I would probably overpay for 2 throne rooms. I Stonemason for two throne rooms, but we are far off of that. We don't have that much money in deck. Of course, I think they probably confuse themselves. And yeah, of course, leave the Cartographer on deck. And overpay, okay, that's getting really thin there. Makes sense. And we get to I think we turn the copper into Snake Witch and then trash um the Infirmary here and our actions. And do we just overpay for like 2 guides or go for another Tanuki, another throne room? It's super weird. I think maybe just another throne room would be best. Getting this very, very lean deck. Thrown this Tanuki to get to turn the 2 coppers into Snake Witches. Yeah, it's again a very weird kingdom. I didn't even mention, or I also honestly didn't really fully notice that there is no plus buy, but the presence of Tanuki just makes it such that you can, if you have your deck under control, probably you can easily Province. Okay, they also do the cursing thing, annoying, but warranted, I guess. And trash a curse into Snake Witch, Crucible the Infirmary, and overpay to trash the curses. I think that's reasonable. But I mean, on 6, I would probably just want to Stonemason and go for throne rooms. Even though that means leaving two curses and no, 1 curse in the deck. Wait, why do they trash a curse? Yeah, okay, sorry, they trashed a curse. Yeah, no. Stonemason, Throne Room looks good in their position, I think. Conquest also not unreasonable. And yeah, I don't know. Really weird kingdom with the limited draw. The curses certainly will hurt. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Throne Room Remodel also reasonable. Continue that. Now here, probably just turn the copper into the game server is weird. Into a Snake Witch. Last card is, I think, just another Snake Witch. And continue cursing our opponent. Trash out this curse and be fine with top decking potentially bad cards. And once the curses are gone, we can do other stuff. But until that's the case, I think this turn we certainly want to generate enough money such that we can overpay Stonemason for some better stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Annoying kingdom. I don't know. Somehow we didn't get to have all too much fun in this match. Double play the Snake Witch, trash a Snake Witch into, I don't know. Actually, yeah, we might as well guide here just to get it back into the deck. Double play this. We may as well return and curse one of them. Play. We do have another Snake Witch down there, do we? I should know. No, we have -1 VP, so that's the curse. And my question is whether we can draw the card that we would. No, it's a throne room. Oh, ooh, it's a throne room. It's a second throne room. I think we, weird as it sounds, we just um we might just crucible it for throne room for throne room remodel next turn and turn those snake witches into curses in our opponent's deck. Although no, we won't have enough money for doing such an outlandish play. So I think we just go for the cursing here and then double play the Tanuki, maybe to go for Crucible into Tanuki. And I mean, we have like the bare minimum deck here, and curse into Snake Witch and distribute the last 2 curses. Or do we just turn the Snake Witch into something and say, okay, if we have um, another incident, let's say next turn, then that's fine. If we don't trash a card, then we cannot gain a card costing up to 2 more than it. Yeah, I think maybe we turn this into something more valuable, like a silver or a whatnot. Yeah, something costing 4, I guess. Could be a remodel. And our buys. We will probably eat this last curse, but that won't be too much of an issue. And we'll now double play this Tanuki to remodel stuff into gold. I think we're in an okay position at this point to just go for lots of um, provincing. Are we? Hmm. Tanuki is just super scary with that kind of stuff. So if we were to play through, let's say we play Throne Room to double play the Tanuki, turn a remodel into gold, turn the Tanuki into, no, turn the Throne Room into gold, then play the Guide and, or no, turn the Guide into Tanuki and, yeah, okay, we gain the last curse, okay. So we're not guaranteed to draw the... No, in this case, I think we double play Guide and then double play... It's not that obvious. Double play the Tanuki from the deck for gold and Tanuki into Tanuki. Then double play the Guide to draw Curse and gold and play the... I think that's the line. And play the gold to buy a silver and turn the curse into a snake witch. It's just a cantrip, but it's plus actions for our deck. Tight. Yeah, that makes sense. Also makes sense. But I think we're in a good position at this point. Okay, and I think I will cut out the last 3 minutes. But yeah, let's go for that line. Confirm trashing. into gold, confirm trashing into Tanuki, double play this guide, the Tanuki will be on the bottom, can gain a snake, which play this to buy, I guess, a silver, and then I guess we're already ready to just province this. These throne rooms will be able to double play the Tanukis, which will, I don't know. I guess we could draw and then double play Tanuki to turn. I mean, calling guide here doesn't make any sense. We could draw, turn Tanuki into gold, and then gold into province. I think that's fine. And go for that. Trashing, go for that. Buy another snake witch. This is a good draw, I guess. Although, I mean, doesn't make that much of a difference, and we can just turn this gold into something better now. Probably our second throne room wants to go now. Or no, the silver wants to become another Tanuki. Like the last two cards there are Province and the other throne room. So if we turn throne room into gold and silver into Tanuki, and then just buy, I guess, another silver, then next turn we are set up for double province. Like, what are they going to do? I don't think you can build to that much more here. And essentially we've just started this provincing race. The only important thing for us, or the main important thing for us, is to find one of these throne rooms now early on. Yeah, I guess we double play this. No, we play a snake witch. No, we need to play both snake witches if we want to. Okay. Or we just mill a province and buy a Tanuki. Like turn. Yeah, I think I like that line best. Play the two snake witches. Double play Tanuki, throne room into gold, province into province, buy Tanuki. And also we are getting somewhat close to pile out territory, like not completely out of the loop. Yeah, double play this, confirm trashing into that, confirm trashing into that. And go for another Tanuki. And here, I mean, we might as well just mill a province and buy a province and turn the Snake Witch into a throne room. Yeah, I think what was also tough was that I got um to curse them so much. Like here, is this even already some sort of win if they don't province? Is this a win? No, I don't think so. We would need to have 7 to overpay for Tanukis. And yeah, no, I think we just actually let's just continue, play it really calmly, and gain this throne room. And now probably guide away this hand, although yeah, just double playing the Snake Witch, then hopefully finding the other throne room, and that should seal the deal. And we can double play a Tanuki, turn 2 golds into provinces, and end it there. The main problem being that, yeah, it's just so hard to work with these 5-card hands, not being able to increase the hand size. And I mean, there is Apothecary to increase your hand size, but drawing coppers here is not a great use of your draw, and plus it is out of the question. You just gotta build this very thinnish, weirdish deck. I mean, for 14 turns, we're probably even now misplaying this a bit. Mm, yeah, they go for gold. Essentially, they just so they can somehow threaten to go for a few provinces with their Tanukis. They do have the guide. Um, let's see how much money they have. Um, okay, they still gotta do this. Also not optimal. Probably turn this into a Stonemason, although I can see in a state. I don't think it matters much. Yeah, it's fine. And what will they buy here? How much money will they have is the main question. They still can call one more Tanuki. Oh, and they don't want to. Yeah, 4 money. If they buy a throne room, the game's probably over. The game might be over anyways, but if they buy a throne room, it is. Oh, remodel, yeah. Good call. I would love to get this guide off the tavern mat sometime, but this draw is too good to pass up. And yeah, this probably just trashes those golds into provinces. And then we mill a province and say, what are you going to do here? Next turn, we are probably going to find the throne room with the 2 Tanukis. And yeah, now already we have a win in hand and should be able to close this out. And unless they find some super sneaky, weird, I think kind of impossible line at this point to finish it out and finish it off. But I don't think so. So yeah, I can already, I guess, put some closing words. I think this is with the cursing, this is going to turn to take so long, but without the cursing, we would of course have been both much quicker. Because I mean, you do gain the snake witches, and in that way get the coppers out of your deck. Actually, now I wonder whether there was a win that I missed last turn. We had 6 money, could have trashed province into. I think I missed a win. I will check on the video, of course, but yeah, probably there was like a Tanuki of province and something into throne rooms, and continue that. We just have it here, and yeah, we buy that. Well, and you've probably just finished watching the last game of the match against sdrawkcab, backwards, and that one was a doozy. Not quite as enjoyable kingdoms as in most of the other games, again, in the other matches of the World Cup. but still some really interesting ones. And now I'd say it's right after the match. Let me discuss them very briefly, and if you're interested in this. Yeah, we had the first one where they resigned after 15 turns because I got ahead, and actually I have prepared this and already put it into my Oracle. You can now there is now a tab at which you can look at all of my matches, also the ones previously against Saltrosa and Eurocalmy. And yeah, let's see. That first kingdom was this one, and I mean, looking at the kingdom plot, you can immediately see that there's a lot going on that you really do want to build, and I think the mistake they committed was to go for too many silvers of the Kitsune. I don't think, like, and maybe also one or too many Kitsunes. Not going for any of the Siren stuff. Siren Tide Pools was a nice thing to happen. I think they banked on some Shepherd draw, but I don't think it's the way to go there just because the deck is, until the curses are gone, the deck is going to be really junky, and it's not that likely that you're going to line up the Shepherd well. So even though it's costly, I think an early Siren is very nice to mitigate that a bit, and also it helps you find it guarantees you to hit 8 cards in hand, and that allows you to then thin down with asceticism. So yeah, I just ran away there, had 5 highways or so, and then they hit a dud hand, and at that point I think it was pretty reasonable to resign. Nice and neat kingdom. The Kitsune, of course, adds some swinginess, but I think with asceticism you can work around it. The buy situation was also interesting, as Snowy Village was essentially the only plus buy, but you could also, in principle, butterfly into Forum for some extra buys. And yeah, so I think this was a really neat kingdom. And yeah, I think this was a really neat kingdom. I hope I'll edit this weird thing out and forget about it. Anyways, let's go for the second one. That one was, I will not go for the intermediate one thing again. That one did not have any thinning and was an awful slugfest. I think they were a tiny bit ahead, although I was first player, of course, but they were a tiny bit ahead as they got to add their Sea Witch a bit earlier, and the messenger acting troop opening from on my side was also not the greatest, even though they only found their acting troop rather late. I'm not sure what happened, why they didn't play it on their first shuffle. I think they might have just messengered it away. And then I also felt like they were in a slightly better position as they had acquired that second acting troop, and thus had a tiny bit more punch. And in the end, it came down to just a really messy, junky end game with piles being low for quite a while. And I didn't dare to go for that messenger ruins pile out, which was correct, I think. And yeah, somehow I got out of that alive, even though I think I lost the curse split, if I remember correctly, uh, 4-6. But like they got 6 curses into my deck. Yeah, weird and annoying kingdom. Next up, we had game 3, another weird and annoying kingdom. Here, the thinning. Actually, why does it show a thinning quality of 1? Let me show the tooltips. Which one has the thinning quality of 1? So this one, tracker has luck-based thinning, flourishing trade. No, why is advance? I gotta change this. So for sure, advance is no proper thinning. I mean, okay, this is a mistake in the kingdom plot generation. Sorry. This one, I don't know, also really junky. I think it was nice that we got a bit more Den of Sins, but also we had that last shuffle was really sloggy, and our Den of Sins bottom deck there. But early on, a lot of Den of Sins were on top, and also our really early shuffle was nice. Being able to advance the tracker and rebuy a tracker on the same turn, and then already buy the Kitsune. Flourishing Trade and Bridge, making the marshland pile a really interesting target. I think we played that all right, going for those a bit earlier than they did, and thus just having this insurmountable lead of 34 victory points before they got to finish. Next one, I don't want this to last too long actually, and let's see. Yeah, this one, I actually think they had the edge with going for as many black cats as they did. Having 6 of them versus 4 of them was huge, and I didn't like the position we were in. But somehow I managed to hold off on greening for long enough, and they didn't have enough village to pair up with the black cats, or had unlucky draws and not lining that up, that we prevailed. I think just going for those mass spices, banking up those coffers for a later big province turn rather than multiple slow ones was the correct choice. So yeah, I remember also that we had the bad 5-2, but then we had the better Sentinel shuffle luck, I guess, and never went for that poacher discarding thing, but might have been worth it to get rid of those last coppers. Pirate was a great card here, and overall a very, very interesting and fun kingdom, I'd say. Order of Astrologers, you're able to, in late game, top deck the Black Cats, and that, I think they committed a mistake there in greening when they shouldn't have after I had just top decked them, but also they had bad draws early on. So I don't know. I overall felt a tiny bit behind there. Now comes game 5, in which I completely mess up, and I don't know why I went for this tactician there, but yeah, it does not pair well with the vampire. I think with just vampire early on, of course, sea witches, and then later on a few barges, and then hammering in maybe ferryman, although I'm also not all too convinced. Maybe just really normal big money is better. And also I had this embarrassing mistake with the basilica, where I somehow, after like I didn't fully register it, and I confused it with colonnade, and that was of course also pretty bad. I'm not only now realizing that I should probably show you this so you can actually read through the cards. Now, up to the last match. So this one was a game to forget for me. But the last one was another tricky one where there was. Why is that draw so good? Apothecary, I might also need to tone down on the draw because, I mean, sometimes with some sifting, like warehouse or something like that, you can make Apothecary draw work, but apart from that, yeah, no, this is not a draw 2 kingdom, it's a draw 1 kingdom with no plus buy, but a lot of power in Tanuki, and I like how we navigate this one. Overall, going for those snake witches. I'm not super sure about the opening, maybe it should have been an infirmary overpay, but also Tanuki seemed to have been fine. I remember it was a bit awkward on the first reshuffle with how we hit the 5 money naturally and weren't able to use the Tanuki to its as we had expected to. But nonetheless, I think, yeah, I don't know. The guide buy I'm not convinced about, but it was all right. Could have been a silver buy also, unless it was a 4 money hand, in which case it should have been a throne room. I don't remember. And yeah, we just put on a lot of pressure with these Tanukis in the late-ish game while they were struggling to get the curses out. And here we just got to pull the trigger on the snake, which is earlier than they did. We were first player, so no surprise there. But yeah, also really interesting and tight kingdom, which you've just watched. Now, that wraps up this discussion and also this video, and also the World Cup, as I might have mentioned in the first video of this match. This World Cup is over for Team Germany B, unfortunately, as yeah, Japan A and we came last in our group, only winning 2.5 matches. Japan dominated our group, UK came second, and both Canada and Germany, prior to the match between Canada and Germany, only had a very, very, very slim chance of surpassing any of the top 2 teams. And we didn't manage to, but nonetheless, it was really fun to take part in this World Cup, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. With that, I'll leave you here, and we'll try to catch you in the next one. And until then, goodbye.